How Tanko Muhammad was forced to resign as CJN. The resignation, yesterday, of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, was a result of high-level intrigues, which were long planned. The resignation, yesterday, of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, was a result of high-level intrigues, which were long planned but executed Sunday night, multiple sources familiar with the power game told Daily Trust yesterday. Reliable sources said that contrary to the thinking that Muhammad resigned on his own accord, he was actually forced to do so by a high-level team of security and senior government officials. Following Muhammad's resignation, President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday swore in Justice Olakayode Ariwoola, the second in the Supreme Court ranking, as the acting CJN. Indications that all was not well emerged Monday morning with the absence of the ex-CJN who was billed to speak at the opening program of the Training on Alternative Dispute Resolution for Judges at the National Judicial Institute, NJI, in Abuja. Muhammad failed to appear at the function without prior notice and did not send a representative. His aides said they were not in the know of any resignation until that morning. However, some sources claimed he was directed to appear in the villa where he was handed a letter to sign for his resignation. Daily Trust gathered that the move to get Muhammad out of his seat was planned long ago and was spearheaded by a senior cabinet official and head of a security establishment. They also co-opted senior officials of the National Judicial Council, NJC, in the plan. A source at the NJC said the plan was hatched late last year but was put on hold until after the retirement of Justice Mary Adili, who could have only served as the CJN for less than a year had Muhammad resigned before she left. The idea was said to have been hinged on the ex-CJN's deteriorating health condition. A senior advocate of Nigeria, who spoke on the condition of anonymity, said the ex-CJN was forced to resign on two grounds: the letter collectively written against him by 14 Supreme Court justices, and certain issues of financial impropriety. He said there was the veiled issue of ill health, which has long been known by many judicial stakeholders, but the ex-CJN was left to continue in the position till December 2023, when he was due to retire. His condition became so obvious when his supporting staff were behind most of the correspondences, which they preface with, "I have been directed," he said. Removal finalized overnight. Another source close to the ex-CJN, who craved anonymity, said Muhammad was fetched from his house Sunday night to an unknown destination. On arrival, he was presented with a letter of resignation and they demanded that he signed the letter. He was told it was from the president and he obliged them based on that. He was not allowed to make any consultation, including even with his family, he said. But another source at the Supreme Court said Muhammad had suffered serious health challenges, making it difficult to perform his day-to-day functions, including sitting on cases and attending to files. He said the situation was partly responsible for the crisis in the court, which led to the letter recently leaked by the 14 judges. During the past Ramadan, the president invited members of the judiciary to the villa for breaking of fast, but he, Muhammad, scheduled a visit to Kaduna State at the same time, and when he was reminded, he said he was not aware, though he was earlier told, the source said. 14 justices of the Supreme Court had in a recent letter on June 21, which Justice Muhammad was forced to react to, accused him of failing to properly administer the apex court. Your Lordship, with all due respect, this is the peak of the degeneration of the court. It is the height of decadence, and clear evidence of the absence of probity and moral rectitude, they wrote. Your Lordship, this act alone portends imminent danger to the survival of this court and the judiciary as an institution, which is gradually drifting to extinction. Reacting to the report, the spokesman for the former CJN, Ahuruaka Isa, said the issues were not brought to his knowledge in his capacity as the spokesperson. He, however, confirmed that the ex-CJN was customarily supposed to be at the NJI event on Monday before the unanticipated development. Justice Mohammed was elevated to the Supreme Court in 2006 but was sworn in on 7 January 2007 from where he was appointed CJN by President Muhammadu Buhari on February 25, 2019, following the removal of Justice Walter Onnoghen over allegations of false asset declaration. Born on 31 December 1953 at Daguwa Giade local government area of Bauchi State, he attended government secondary school, Azare, where he obtained the West Africa School Certificate in 1973 before he later proceeded to Ahmadu Bello University where he received an LL.B. degree in Islamic law in 1980. He later obtained an LL.M. degree and a PhD in law from the same university in 1985 and 1998 respectively. Justice Arawula sworn in as acting CJN. President Buhari has congratulated the acting CJN, Justice Arawula, who was sworn in around 3 p.m. on Monday. The president also conferred on the outgoing CJN with the national honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, Gon. Justice Arawula will act as CJN pending the time his name will be forwarded to the Senate by the President for confirmation as substantive CJN. The acting CJN was accompanied to the ceremony by some justices of the Supreme Court. Arawula becomes the third individual to occupy the top judiciary job of the country in the life of this administration. While speaking at the event, President Buhari said he administered the judicial oath for Arawula to act as Chief Justice of Nigeria pursuant to Section 231(4) of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, as nature abhorred a vacuum after the resignation of Justice Tanko on health grounds. He said as Nigeria was approaching a critical general election in 2023, the judiciary must not do anything to fail the citizens. The president also admonished the justices of the Supreme Court to always remain faithful and bear true allegiance to Nigeria, and to remain committed to the oath of allegiance to which they all subscribed to. Buhari assured of his administration's commitment to ensuring the independence of the judiciary and will not do anything nor take any steps to undermine your independence. The president commended Justice Tanko for his contributions to Nigeria's judiciary, the strengthening of its democracy and national development. He said, ordinarily, he was scheduled to retire from the Supreme Court on the last day of 2023. Unfortunately, as no man is infallible, ill health has cut short Chief Justice Tanko's leadership of the Nigerian judiciary at this time. I am therefore constrained to accept his retirement, albeit with mixed feelings. Much as one may wish that the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed Tanko, is able to fully serve his term in office, it presupposes that he is able to perform the functions of the office without hindrance or any form of disability. Nigeria's judiciary under the leadership of Chief Justice of Nigeria Tanko Muhammad judiciously exercised the judicial powers of the federation. His era witnessed several landmark, jurisprudential and policy decisions by the Supreme Court, and by extension other courts established by the Constitution. CJN Tanko dealt firmly with the issue of reckless and indiscriminate grant of ex parte orders that was assuming serious dimensions, he said. I'll not fail Nigeria, new CJN. Meanwhile, Arawula has promised that the judiciary under him shall not fail Nigerians with the support of his colleagues. According to him, what Nigerians expect from me is to comply, preserve and abide and protect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so be it. That is what I will do, especially with the cooperation of my brother justices of the Supreme Court. We shall not fail Nigerians. On how he would address the controversy in the Supreme Court, the acting CJN said, "There is no controversy in the Supreme Court. We are one with the Chief Justice. That is why you heard the President say his Lordship is disengaging on the grounds of ill health. No controversy, we are one." Asked about the welfare issues highlighted in the letter addressed to the former CJN, he said, "It was an internal memo of the court. It was not a petition. It was not a letter. It was addressed by the brother justices of the Chief Justice and presented to him, his Lordship, directly. There were issues to be resolved amongst justices." Asked if those issues would be resolved under his leadership, he said, "Yeah, we have started resolving it." Brief on new CJN. Appointed to the Supreme Court bench on November 22, 2011, Justice Arawula was in the Court of Appeal from November 22, 2005, to 2011 after joining the Oyo State High Court on November 2, 1992. Born in the early 50s, to the Arawula family of Asayan, Oyo State, Arawula attended local authority demonstration school, Oluwole in Asayan local government between 1959 and 1967. He attended Muslim Modern School, Asayan, 1968-69, and Ansar ud Din Secondary School, Shaki, from where he proceeded to the University of IFE, now Obafemi Awolowo University, ILIFE, and graduated with honors in 1980. He was called to the Nigeria Bar in 1981, having attended the Nigerian Law School, Lagos. We'll help cleanse the Ojeon stable. NBA assures acting CJN. The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has pledged to assist the acting CJN Justice Olakayode Arawula and the judiciary to cleanse the Ojeon stable and address the ills that have continued to plague not just the judiciary but the entire legal profession. A statement signed by the president of the NBA, Olamide Ekpata on Monday, said the first task before the acting CJN was to restore public confidence in the judiciary. There is now more than ever the need for urgent reforms in the judiciary and to rebuild the almost dissipated confidence that Nigerians have in the judiciary and the wider legal profession in Nigeria, he said. He wished the former CJN Mohammed quick recovery from his ill health. 14 justices of the Supreme Court have lamented the decrepit state of affairs in the court in a letter sent to the Chief Justice, Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed. In the leaked letter, the justices accused the CJN of refusing to address the issues despite drawing his attention to them. They complained of a lack of residential accommodation and vehicles at the court. The justices further accused the CJN of gallivanting with his spouse, children and personal staff, while not allowing them to travel with an assistant on foreign trips. The justices decried the lack of legal research assistance, despite the magnitude of cases being adjudicated. On erratic electricity supply, the justices said they have been confined to work between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily, for lack of diesel, after they were notified of the development by the Supreme Court's Chief Registrar, Haho Bello. 1. The Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria and Chairman National Judicial Council Supreme Court Complex 3 Arms Zone, Abuja, Nigeria. Your Lordship. The state of affairs in the Supreme Court of Nigeria and demand by justices of the court. My Lord the Honorable Chief Justice of Nigeria, we the entire justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, carefully reviewed the state of affairs in this court and unanimously resolved to write formally and draw the attention of your Lordship to our demands. As a preamble, let it be clearly understood that the resolution to write your Lordship was reached with all sense of responsibility. We are serving this country diligently and to the best of our ability. We resolve disputes between the executive and the legislature, including all manner of disagreements between governments and individuals. We are responsible citizens of this country. It would be a tragedy if the Nigerian public were to know that we are unable to resolve our own problems internally without going public. The decision to write to you formally must be seen by your Lordship as an effort on our part to preserve the dignity of the judiciary and the respect accorded to us by governments and people of Nigeria. God forbid the day that our internal issues become a matter of national discourse. It would be a catastrophe better imagined. Your Lordship must therefore act before it is too late. My Lord may recall that you reluctantly called a justices' meeting on the 23rd day of March 2022 after several persistent requests to hold the meeting. Our new justices were never introduced formally in a meeting, as has been the practice, from the date of their swearing in on the 6th of November 2020 until the 23rd day of March 2022 when the recent justices' meeting was held. Your Lordship may also recall that at the meeting we tabled and discussed our demands on I. Justices' accommodation, 2. R. Vehicles, 3. Electricity tariff, IV. Supply of diesel. V. Internet services to our residences and chambers, Vi. Epileptic electricity supply to the court. We also raised the issue of the failure of the Honorable Chief Justice to carry the justices along in managing the affairs of the court, the deteriorating condition of services generally and the state of the litigations department. At the meeting, Your Lordship agreed that Welfare Committee be constituted to compile and forward our demands. On the 24th day of March 2022, the Welfare Committee submitted to Your Lordship request for review of electricity allowance because of the increase in electricity tariff nationwide. The Welfare Committee also submitted our request for diesel allowance, because of the epileptic electricity supply, the astronomical hike in the price of diesel and the fact that justices require electricity to work at home. The committee also requested for the restoration of our monthly internet allowance, because we require uninterrupted internet service in order to have access to materials online to write our judgments. Your Lordship received and ignored these demands since the 24th of March 2022. At the Justices' meeting, we intimated Your Lordship that some justices sworn on the 6th day of November 2020 were yet to be accommodated by the court. Your Lordship promised to take up the issue that day. To date, Your Lordship has not taken any step in this direction. With regard to justices' vehicles, several are due for replacement, while the new justices have not received their full complement of vehicles to date. Moreover, some of the vehicles supplied to the justices are either refurbished or substandard. Your Lordship has not taken steps to address this problem. At the meeting we also discussed training. In the past, justices were nominated to attend 2 to 3 foreign workshops and trainings per annum with an accompanying person for reasons of age. Since Your Lordship's assumption of office, justices only attended 2 workshops in Dubai and Zanzibar. They were not accorded the privilege of traveling with accompanying persons as was the practice. Your Lordship totally ignored this demand and yet traveled with your spouse, children and personal staff. We demand to know what has become of our training funds. Have they been diverted, or is it a plain denial? Your Lordship may also remember that the National Assembly has increased the budgetary allocation of the judiciary. We find it strange that in spite of the upward review of our budgetary allocation, the court cannot cater for our legitimate entitlements. This is unacceptable. Another issue discussed was the provision of qualified legal assistance. We are aware that even lower courts provide legal assistance for their justices and judges. The Supreme Court, apart from being the highest court in the land, is a policy court. We are confronted with various complex legal issues of national significance with the addition of time-bound matters coming in between our regular court sittings. We require qualified legal assistance in order to offer our best. This demand has not been accorded any attention by the Honorable Chief Justice. The state of healthcare in the court has deteriorated. The Supreme Court clinic has become a mere consulting clinic. Drugs are not available to treat minor ailments. There is general lack of concern for justices who require immediate or emergency medical intervention. Your Lordship has not addressed the issue of our rules court. The rules of court are the immediate tools employed by justices to dispense justice to court users. Your Lordship has kept the amended rules of court for almost 3 years now, awaiting your signature. We strongly believe the new rules will aid speedy dispensation of justice. Recently, the Chief Registrar served justices with an internal memo that electricity would be supplied to the court between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily, for lack of diesel. The implication of this memo is that the justices must finish their work and close before 4 p.m. Your Lordship, with all due respect, this is the peak of the degeneration of the court. It is the height of decadence, and clear evidence of the absence of probity and moral rectitude. Your Lordship, this act alone portends imminent danger to the survival of this court and the judiciary as an institution, which is gradually drifting to extinction. The judiciary is an arm of government. The Supreme Court of Nigeria, just like the Presidential Villa and the National Assembly, is the seat of the judiciary as an arm of government. The implication of the memo is that this arm of government is potentially shut down. May God never allow that day. Your Lordship, this is a wake-up call. Your Lordship must take full responsibility as our leader. You must not concession your responsibility to people who have no responsibility or stake in preserving and defending the dignity of the institution. Your Lordship occupies a position of leadership. We will not wait for the total collapse of the institution. We must not abandon our responsibility to call your Lordship to order in the face of these sad developments that threaten our survival as an institution. We have done our utmost best to send a wake-up call to your Lordship. A stitch in time saves 9. Finally, your Lordship, the choice is now yours. It is either you quickly and swiftly take responsibility and address these burning issues, or we will be compelled to further steps immediately. May this day never come. Please accept the assurances of our highest regards. 1. Justice Olakayode Arawula 2. 2. Justice Musa Datijo Muhammad 3. 3. Justice Kadirat Moten Mori O Kakere Ekan 4. 4. Justice John Inyang Okoro 5. 5. Justice Chima Sentis Inweze 6. 6. Justice Amina Adamu Orgi 7. 7. Justice Awani Musa Abba Rg 8. 8. Justice Muhammad Lawal Garba 9. 9. Justice Helen Moronkeji Ogunwumiju 10. 10. Justice Abdu Aboki 11. 11. Justice Ibrahim Muhammad Musa Saulawa 12. 12. Justice Adamu Jauro 13. 13. Justice Tajani Abubakar 14. 14. Justice Emmanuel Akomaye Agam